Welcome back. We are on chapter 4 in Lead with Love, the invitation to love well. And I am excited because chapter 4 is halfway, a little more than halfway. There's 7 chapters in this book, and we are at the part that's called the heart of me. I invite you to just be in a place of curiosity, a place of humility and vulnerability as we kind of wrestle a little bit with where we're at. Where is our heart at? There's a great quote at the beginning of the book by Amy Grant, and it says, "Lord, lead me today to those I need and to the ones who need me, and let something I do have eternal significance." I love that. In order to be led to someone else, I think that we have to be in a place and a posture of grace and love and our own self-acceptance in order to really, truly give to someone else. And that's what this chapter is really all about. So a couple things that I want to share. First of all, is just this idea about creation. So God created the heavens and the earth. He separated night from day with the sun and the moon. He put animals on the land. He put fish in the sea. He put birds in the air. And then he created man and woman. And he communed with them. The Bible says that he would come in the cool of the day in the garden and talk to Adam and Eve. He just spent time with them. He really is a God of community and connection. And this is how I sort of see the story of creation. So we have Adam and Eve, and we have them looking at each other in community and connection and tipped towards God. I think God was actually right in the center because I think they walked together in the garden. But this is sort of the picture that I like to have. And then something came between them. There was a snake that slithered in between them. And what happened in the fall was that we put man and woman back to back and looking at the ground. So forever, the work we have to do as followers of Jesus is to look up and look at each other. But we're naturally bent now with the fall towards looking at the ground. I think that's part of the toil, the hard work that's part of the curse. And there's enmity between man and woman. That's what the Bible says. Competition, a sense of never really quite getting each other. It being hard work to have relationships. And we're tipped towards the ground, towards our own provision and protection, instead of the natural or the way that God created us, which was to be facing or tipped towards him. So we have to actually move ourselves in a posture of looking to Jesus. And I think that that is, for me, the crux of this chapter, is thinking about every morning when you wake up, your bent is toward to be back to back, to be in opposition with someone else, and to be looking at the ground. And we have to ask God to be part of that process to lift us up and lift us into this posture. So for this chapter, we're really going to kind of wrestle with that idea a little bit. And one of the writers that I really like, and someone who has studied self-compassion a great deal, her name is Christine Neff. And she has some really fascinating, she's a fascinating book and a great TED Talk. And so I recommend that you look her up, Kristen Neff. She has this quote that I have put in the book. It's on page 50. It says, "Self-esteem is boosting yourself up above others with a sense of importance. Self-compassion is tenderness towards yourself." So as we think about your heart, my heart, what does my heart feel, and how do I see and experience the world right now? What condition is my heart in? I think this idea of self-compassion is powerful, because self-esteem is something that's trying to force me forward or push me upwards. And it can very easily become something where it's a top down, where I think Jesus' ministry and his encouragement to us is the bottom up, right? It's getting low. It is really looking people in the eyes. One of the things I love about Jesus's testimony when he walked this earth was getting down and washing his disciples' feet. He got low. He put himself in a position of a servant. And so we are to do that. But one of the ways that we can do that is doing it self-compassionately. And what does that sound like? This is what I love. Talk to yourself the way you would talk to a friend. That was life-giving for me. And it was kind of upsetting to my balance because I would never say things to other people that I say to myself. I would even be, Andrea, that was so stupid. Andrea, that was so dumb. I'd say it in the kitchen. My kids would hear me. Other people in my life would hear me. And this whole concept of self-compassion really opened my eyes to what words are coming out of my mouth. And are they affirming of what God says about me? Because God says he's love, and God says he loves me. And he also says that he created me in his image, in the image of love. So when I am super critical and when I'm saying harsh words towards myself, it's actually very counter to who Jesus is and what he says about me. So the words that come out of our mouth about ourselves, or the words that we think in our own minds about ourselves, we really need to put them up against the picture of God being love, God creating us in his image, and us being ambassadors of love for him in the world. It's powerful, powerful, powerful idea. So the end of this chapter on page 53, it gives the assignment to take a broken heart and put healing words on the lines of the brokenness in the heart. And I want you to think about your own heart, not 10 years ago, not during the worst traumatic experience you've had in your life, right now. Think about the condition of your heart right now. Think about what's weighing on it, what's heavy to you, what hurts, and what words of compassion can be sent to your heart to bring healing. And I'd like you to imagine it like this. In the Chinese culture, they would take a broken piece of china and they would use molten or melted gold to glue broken china back together, so that when that teacup that had a big break in it had this gold in it and was dried, that piece of china was more valuable because it had a crack in it than it was before it was broken. And I actually really believe that God is always wanting to take his gold, like his gold metallic marker, and say, here's what you say, that you're dumb. I say that you shine brilliantly. You say you made a stupid mistake. I say that you're going to learn and grow from that in a way that will minister to people for years to come. So that gold that's added into that broken piece makes it so much more valuable. So in this chapter, in chapter 4, I just really challenge you to think about what's broken right now. And then think about words of affirmation and confidence, competence, of encouragement that you can weave in back into your heart and find some healing. In closing, I want to share this quote. It's actually found on page 45, and it's Peter Ustinov said it. Love is an act of endless forgiveness, a tender look which becomes a habit. I encourage you as you go into your study of chapter 4, love is an act of endless forgiveness, a tender look which becomes a habit. Have a great day. This is our little creative bonus lesson for chapter 4, and I actually did mine right inside my book. So I'm going to kind of hold my book up and then I'm going to talk through it for you. So I added words, just like the assignment said, and my words were this: priceless, compassion, grace, beauty, blessed, and love. And then I did something. I had these heart stickers left over from Valentine's Day, and I cut them. And what's interesting is this one kind of looks like angel wings. If I could draw, I would draw a little angel, but I don't draw very well. And then this one looks like a butterfly. And I thought, what an interesting idea when we think about the Chinese the Chinese tradition of adding the gold in to put broken china back together and making it even more priceless and valuable. Our broken hearts becoming a butterfly, our brokenness being able to be sent out and fly and flutter away. And then the idea of an angel, the idea that God is with us in our brokenness. He sends angels unaware, I believe this all the time, to be around us, to nurture us through really difficult and challenging times. So those were two of the little creative things that emerged out of my work, and I am so excited to see what you guys come up with.